All right, let's pull back the curtain on one of storytelling's oldest and I think most powerful tricks, the soliloquy. This is that moment where a play gives us a direct, totally unfiltered look right into a character's soul.
Okay, honest question for you. Have you ever found yourself just talking out loud when you're all alone? Maybe pacing around your room, trying to untangle a problem, or figure out how you really feel about something.
Well, believe it or not, that very human impulse, that's the key to a dramatic device that's been at the heart of theater for hundreds of years. Playwrights basically took that private moment of self-talk and threw it right up on center stage for all of us to see.
So what's the whole point? Well, think of a soliloquy as more than just a speech. It's really a window, a direct peek into something we're never supposed to see, the inner workings of a character's mind.
So let's get the official definition on the table. A soliloquy is when a character is alone on stage, and that alone part is key, and they just start speaking their thoughts out loud. This isn't for anyone else in the play. No, this is a direct line to us, broadcasting their hidden fears, their secret plans, their deepest desires. Now, of course, in real life, this is, well, it's not very realistic, right? But that's the absolute magic of theater. It's what we call a convention. We, the audience, just kind of agree to go with it. We suspend our disbelief and accept that, for this moment, we can literally hear what someone is thinking. It makes all those invisible feelings, like guilt, love, or ambition, totally real and tangible.
Okay, now this is where things can get a little tricky, so let's clear it up. A soliloquy is a very specific tool, and it's super important to know how it's different from its close cousins, the monologue and the aside.
So, the big difference really just comes down to one question. Who are they talking to? In a soliloquy, the character is alone. They're talking to themselves. The whole point is to look inward. A monologue, on the other hand, is a long speech given to other characters who are right there on stage. The goal there is totally different. It's to persuade someone or explain something. One's a private therapy session, the other is a public speech.
And then you have the aside. What's that about? Well, an aside is also a private thought, but it's really just a quick, snappy comment. It's often directed right at the audience while other people are on stage, but they just magically can't hear it. A soliloquy is a much longer, deeper dive. So think of an aside as a quick whisper, while a soliloquy is the full-blown, soul-searching conversation.
So, okay, we know what it is and what it isn't, but what does it do for the story? This is where we get into the soliloquy's real superpowers. It's not just talking, it's the engine that drives the whole play forward.
It really has three main jobs. First, it reveals a character's hidden psychology. We don't just see what they do, we understand why they do it. Second, it creates something called dramatic irony, which is when we, the audience, know a secret that other characters don't. That builds incredible tension. And third, it actually moves the plot forward. A character makes a big decision right there in front of us, and suddenly the whole story changes direction.
Let's dig into that second point for a second. Dramatic irony. It's that amazing, nail-biting feeling you get when you're in on the secret. A villain lays out their entire evil plan in a soliloquy, and from that moment on, every single polite conversation they have is just dripping with danger. The soliloquy turns us, the audience, into their silent partner in crime.
And what's really brilliant about this device is how flexible it is. You can use it to make us feel incredible sympathy for a tragic hero, or you can use it to show us the chilling, terrifying logic of a master villain.
For instance, in a tragedy, a hero's soliloquy shows us their inner conflict, their confusion, their despair. It makes us root for them, even when they're making terrible choices. But for a villain, oh, it's a completely different game. The soliloquy shows us their manipulative genius and how they see the world. It builds this incredible suspense and makes their actions so much scarier.
So, in a way, the soliloquy becomes its own little stage, a stage for the biggest moral debates in the play. This is where we get a front-row seat to the raw battle between a character's ambition and their conscience, or between their desires and their duties. This is where the real drama is.
So, you might be wondering, has this ancient device actually survived into our modern world of storytelling? Well, the answer is a big yes. But its journey hasn't exactly been a straight line.
It's had a pretty wild ride. I mean, it goes all the way back to Greek and Roman theater. It really hit its peak during the Renaissance, where it became this amazing tool for exploring psychology. Then, later on, the push for realism in plays made it seem kind of old-fashioned and unrealistic. But it didn't die. It just evolved. It turned into things like the interior monologues in novels, or, when a character in a movie or TV show breaks the fourth wall and talks directly to the camera.
So after all that, why? Why do we keep coming back to this idea of a character talking to themselves? Why does this centuries-old trick still feel so powerful, so necessary?
I think ultimately, it all comes down to this one simple but profound idea. Without the soliloquy, we're just watching people do things. We see their actions. But with it, we get to understand who they truly are. It's the difference between just seeing a person and actually knowing them.